You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network. New shows every day. Find us at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.
It's playoff time. Big stakes, bigger promotions. It's time to hammer the over and score some cash. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a chance to lower the over-under on a featured playoff game. All players who place a bet on the featured basketball game will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. That's right. For every 1,500 players who bet the over on the select game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. Every bettor who hammers the over in the featured game helps to lower the game's over-under. The best part is that even as the line lowers, the odds remain at even money. That's right. You can double your money by hammering the over. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN when you sign up to hammer the over. For every 1,500 people that bet the over in the featured game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Yes, this is your chance to improve the odds of the over hitting. So tell your friends and family, this is a team effort. Hammer the over and improve your odds of doubling your money. That's promo code THPN for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. Restrictions apply. Max $25 wager, one per customer. Offer ends May 23rd, 2021. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Red Wings with menu items from Little Caesars Pizza.
It's an objective rating scale. I don't think there's any quibbles about this.
Yeah, nobody's gonna question anything we do here. It's just, Mike, how much fun is it to read from MLive, from the Free Press, from the Athletic? You know, Vrana gets an A, Larkin gets a B-, and they all have the same exact scores with the difference of a smidgen. So let's have some fun with this. Mike, you've got extra most bestest pizzas on there, extra most bestest thin crust. We've got hot dog crusts, Italian cheese bread. This is all going down.
Yes, and you do have to. You can't just assign a Little Caesars menu item to a player. We need to hear the why. So that's why, you're going to see some current items, right? Like the menu items, like the extra most bestest, of course. But we have some deep cuts in there. That's how the hot dog crust still made it in. Nothing like a delicious Little Caesars crust filled with hot dog. There's some staples, of the Little Caesars menu. Of course, we're talking about crazy bread. Matt, I don't think any of our 6 to 12-year-old birthday parties existed without at least one piece of crazy bread being consumed. That Parmesan dusting, the garlic, butter, the white bleached flour of the bread. Matt, it would be remiss without a piece of crazy bread. And then we've got, they have wings in there. Maybe we'll throw those in. Who knows? And then, of course, Matt, I'm still talking myself into that weird pretzel crust with the nacho cheese sauce. It's a little much. So maybe you like the pretzel crust and you got to suffer through that cheese instead of sweet marinara. But we'll get through it, Matt. I don't know what players.
Absolutely, that Italian cheese bread. Oh my god,
it is a hell of a product.
I will say, I will. That pepperoni cheese bread, though.
You know what? It's right up there. Yeah.
They're probably 1A.
Listen, I know Buddy's Pizza is like, we got the best Detroit deep dish. Like, hold on. Little Caesars pepperoni cheese bread is pretty good.
So let's do this. Mike, I wanted you to take a stab right now. Like, what's funny, here's what we're looking at, everybody who can't see our list. Terrell Hirose is going to be the first grade here. Mike, can you take a stab at how I sorted these names? What you think they're sorted by? Because it's kind of funny, I guess.
I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad. The lists in which Hirose's there makes me feel bad. I'm gonna say, Matt. Arguably, you put this list together based on their connectivity to a Little Caesars food item. Because I don't know how the hell Hirose is still on this list.
He is the leader in expected goals for per 60 now that the season is done and turned in.
Like in scrimmages, or?
No, think about it. Like, it's per 60. So it doesn't matter how many minutes he gets. It doesn't matter how many games played he had. This is just straight up when he was on the ice, most expected goals for per 60. I mean, number 2 is Vrana. So it's just we're gonna have some fun here.
I'm gonna say that off the bat, he's a Little Caesars barbecue wing, because I know it exists, and I know I've spent top dollar at Buffalo Wild Wings to get chicken nuggets with expensive sauce on them. Like, wow, how is that $15? But then, I'm sure there's those people who would be like, it's not. I only had them like once, but they're pretty good. It's only like $6 for like 45 wings from Little Caesars, and you don't buy them because they're Little Caesars and it's wings. But just that whispering of, oh yeah, those aren't that bad. So you've never really tried them yourself. You've kind of heard good things about them. They're on the menu. You know they exist, but you've never really sunk your teeth in. And allegedly they're pretty good, but I've never seen it. So Matt, give me the barbecue wing for Hirose, because I've never seen it pan out.
Look, this is probably way more thought than any other publication is going to give to Taro Hirose in his grade. I couldn't do anything but like a side sauce here. Like I'm gonna give him a crazy sauce because alone, and when we're just looking at that, you're not going to take a spoon to it. But clearly, with him having
speak for yourself, sir.
With him having some success from an expected goals perspective, and I brought that up for this reason.
Yeah.
There's something there. I'm not just going to depend on the crazy sauce, but I'm going to say crazy sauce, no bread. That's what Hirose is. If you bring in somebody that's some crazy bread, maybe there's something more exciting there. But Taro Hirose, crazy sauce.
No, bad grade, Matt. Matt, if you're ever eating crazy bread, you're always going to be like, hey, where's the crazy sauce? When you're taking your delivery out, you check the pizza box, make sure you got the right thing. See, Fethtar, you're that guy. I knew it. Somebody's out there has had him. All right, like the crazy sauce, you're looking for it, right? Hirose, I'm not looking for it. I'm not checking my box for a Hirose cup.
So this is going to be a much easier one. Next one on the list, Mike, Jakub Vrana.
Oh,
here's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him an extra most bestest thin crust. And here's why. We have seen now Vrana. We're gonna grade him. Like, this is gonna be our first line winger going forward, at least in the next season, depending on who else we bring in.
Yeah.
But the analytics do still show some inadequacies on the defensive side. So he depends a lot on puck possession to make sure that he doesn't get completely buried in expected goals against. So I'm gonna say Vrana is the thin crust, the extra most bestest thin crust for that reason. He's not quite that nice big thick fluffy bread that you'd hope.
See, I'm
going a lot on the name here. Extra most bestest. I mean,
I'm an ingredient man myself, and I'm a crust man myself. So I'm gonna give him the actual extra most bestest. Easily the bestest Red Wing in just 11 games. That's all it took for him to be our best player. And if I wanted cheese and pepperoni on a Nabisco cracker, I could make it happen. So no thank you on the thin crust. This is a delicious player, Matt. It's full of that white pull-apart bread. Matt, this is the best pizza that Little Caesars offers. This is the best Red Wing that Detroit offers. Extra most bestest for Mr. Vrana. No question.
All right, next on the list, Mr. Robbie Fabry. Mike, one of the things that we have on here to at least prep us is Jay Fresh's WAR percentages.
Yes.
Robbie Fabry over the last 3 years, his WAR percentage is 45, but he had such a successful season this year He is actually the second ranked WAR percentage on the team to Jakub Vrana's 91%, which means that you would want to look at that and say there's only another 9% of the league that's better than Vrana. Fabry's at 87. So this is it, right? You're getting a good player here, regardless of what we said before on the defensive side for both of these guys. They bring enough to the table where they're gonna be better than that replacement player who may be doing better on the defensive side. They're just bringing more to the game than they're giving up. So with that, Mike, I'm gonna use my favorite item, or one of my favorites, I should say. This is up there. It's not the pepperoni cheese bread. I got that saved. I know who's getting pepperoni cheese bread. Mike, I'm going extra most bestest stuffed crust pepperoni. Robbie Fabry. There's a lot there. There's a lot of pizzazz. And I just gotta say, like, it's stuffed crust. And sure, it's gonna hurt you in the morning, and that's where those defensive lapses come into play. Like, Mike, I straight up, if I do that stuffed crust pizza, bathroom all day the next day.
Oh. But
it's worth it. So I'm giving him stuffed crust pepperoni.
Matt, Mr. Fabry, I am a huge fan of his. You know, he 2-goaled his way into our hearts from the opening game. And, you know, he's been one of the few offensive, players we can count on a game-by-game basis. And I think that is where he, for me, factors in as a deep, deep dish, which is one of my favorite items at Little Caesars. And the Robbie Fabry narrative, you know, he's a first-round pick who's kind of floating around in St. Louis and, you know, just came home to Detroit. Really found a home here. But, you know, sometimes you eat a few deep dish slices and you just pass out. There's a lot of bread in there. And it kind of feels like Robbie, we're still trying to figure him out on the defensive end, but that narrative, he came aboard, started scoring, Matt. I don't even remember, and I just passed out. You know, I just skip all that nonsense on the defensive side, the injuries. I don't even care, Matt. When I ate that bread, when it was in my body, was it good? And then I just slowly passed out from digesting all those carbs. So, Matt, give me that deep, deep dish for Mr. Fabry.
Well, next on the list, Richard Panik. Of course, we already talked about Vrana, so coming over in the Mantha trade there. Mike, we've talked about it before. I figured he came over because he's eligible to be picked up in the expansion draft. So, Mike, I don't like this, but maybe Seattle does. So I'm going to give him a Caesar dip. He's a butter garlic flavor for your cheese bread. I'm not going to order it, but maybe somebody else would. People like it, and I'm going to give him that because I ultimately think that's the whole reason he's here. It's just to be a nice offering for Seattle.
Matt, you know, for me, Richard Panik, you know, we got Jakub Vrana in the trade, right?
Yeah.
We're like, wow, man, what a deal. We get a whole extra most bestest. We are in. And they're like, hold on. You also got to take this 2-liter. Oh, all right. Well, what are you charging for a 2-liter? $285 for a Sierra Mist. $285 for a Sierra Mist. Oh. All right. Well, we still get the extra most bestest, right? Yeah. Ugh. All right. Well, Matt, he's a 2-liter of Sierra Mist because there's, you know, it's just sugar and bubbles. Not a lot of caloric value here, but you still get a delicious pizza with Vrana. So, Matt, he's a 2-liter of Sierra Mist for me.
That is the best. We should end this now because that is the best grade we're going to give out. Oh, my God. Oh, that is perfect. Yes. Next on the list, we're finally going to talk some defensemen here. God, I loved listening to that so much.
That'll be the teaser for the show, man.
Yeah. Gustav Lindstrom is next on the list here. So I wanted to do this. Like, there's a lot of potential. I don't think we've seen it enough. There's probably room for, you know, development, improvement. So I'm going to go with the stuffed crazy bread with the crazy sauce here. Cause I'm intrigued. I haven't tried it yet. And I think there's probably more potential if we change up that sauce. I'm going to go probably ranch instead of marinara sauce. Just my whiteness showing through. But yeah, give me stuffed crazy bread. That's my good stuff, Lindstrom. I'm intrigued. Not quite ready to take the plunge though. So that's I haven't ordered that stuffed crazy bread. Mike, Gustav Lindstrom.
I think you hit a home run on that one. I haven't tried it either. I've it looks good. You know, it looks like it's got some potential. You know, anything that has bread with cheese in it, I'm gonna, you know, probably start steering towards. But I haven't navigated my boat down those waters yet. So I'm gonna say, as an item that I also am yet to try, really sink my teeth into. I already know what I'm getting with this, you know, the regular crazy bread, but stuffed crazy bread, I don't know. Lindstrom, you got to prove it to me. I haven't tried it yet. So Matt, perfect choice. Love it.
Oh man! All right, so now I got to jump in, and now we're doing Danny DeKaiser. Mike, I'm going to tell you right now. I have some of these planned out. I am running through the menu right now, and I think I've got one.
All right,
Mike, you picked the bottle of soda that comes. You get the 2-liter soda before, and it was perfect description for Panic. But for Danny DeKaiser, you know, the injuries have kind of ended. You know, the I don't know, the feel good story that it was to bring in Danny when he first showed up, and we were all excited because of that reach. And I do think like this is probably the career winding down. But he certainly fills a hole in the lineup. You know, as Eisman always says, you got to ice the team. I think that's pretty much it. So I think, Mike, I'm going to go with the Aquafina 20-ounce bottle of water that's available in the fridge because you're not too impressed by it. It ices the team. It hydrates you. And, yeah, there's not much else you're going to be getting out of Danny the older he gets here. And that's not skill-wise. That's just, I think as the injuries piled up here, that's kind of what's going to happen here. Oh, and Fethar, is that a day old hot and ready for Danny DeKaiser? Because that, oh my God, that is a pretty good one.
Woo, man, you talk about a rib. Woo, that is an insult, Fethar. Dropping a bomb on DeKaiser. I love it. Wow, that might be my new favorite description. But I was saving that for Filppula. For DeKaiser. You know, you talk about ice in a team. You know, DeKaiser is one of the beefier Red Wings, right? At what, 6'5", 6'4"? He's a big boy. Matt, you know, he filled a hole. I think when we filled a hole with hot dog and we put hot dog in the crust, that is DeKaiser to a T.
Oh my God.
You know, it's something where, you know, as far as injuries go, when I eat the hot dog crust, it's usually one that injures me. So when I take a bite of that hot dog crust, it makes me think a little of Danny DeKaiser. There's still, you know, you get some protein, so there's still some value in it. But as you age, you probably just want less and less hot dog crust in your future. So it was kind of cool when you were younger, but now as you age, more hot dog crust, more injuries. I think we're ready to kind of put that definition there.
Could we give an A+ to Fethar? He's just stale. I feel bad for Danny's career. Coming in at the beginning of the rebuild and asked to fill a top role he was never ready for. I mean, that's stale pizza. Like you're asking it to do a lot, and really it's just it's not up to it anymore.
Because we can't top that, Matt. Let's jump right into Filppula. Matt, is he also just day old Little Caesars? Not even Little Caesars that you prepared, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't finish it. Maybe you wrapped it in tinfoil, put it in the fridge. No. You had a late night, you know, bender, and you just left it on the coffee table all night. And so it's hard. It's old. There's a bug on it. You know, the crust and the cheese and the pepperoni are just one entity now. There's no it. So is the box. The box, the bread, the cheese, and whatever ingredient are just one solid entity. That's what Filppula is. That's how long it's been sitting out all night. Matt, your thoughts?
I was going to say Filppula was the day-old pizza that the community center, you know, the guy who's in charge of buying pizza bought it the night before because he's got stuff to do in the morning and he didn't want to be racing over to Little Caesar and bring pizza to the local community center. So that, you know, you're also chopping that down, right? So he's got to serve 30 people with one hot and ready. So you're not only getting a hot and ready slice, you're getting a quarter of a slice. So that's my Filppula.
At one point, it did resemble a pizza, but when you try to peel it off and a piece of the cardboard is still attached, I think you're like, oh man. And you still kind of eat it anyway because you got to ice a team. So you got to put something in your stomach. So at some point, you got to take a bite of that Filppula cardboard pizza.
Now, this next one is pretty tough. I have been searching and searching. I have to confess, I'm almost like half listening because I need to find something for Alex Biega. But I honestly think we're talking, Mike. I'm gonna go to the Hula Hawaiian Pizza. Okay, but he is not. He is not that whole pizza, Mike. He's just the pineapple on one slice. All right, hey, he's getting one slice of Hula Hawaiian Pizza, sans bread, cheese, and sauce. He's just the pineapple because that's not doing it for me. It wasn't a great season for Biega. He even got an incomplete from Jay Fresh. There wasn't enough data to actually fill out a card for Biega. So that's where I'm sitting.
Oof.
You didn't like that score. Does that hurt?
I don't dislike it. I'm still trying to find something more appropriate. I think for Biega, I'm going to give him an empty take a penny, leave a penny, because I walked in, I thought I had exact change. I was like 3 pennies short. And then I thought I could count on Biega to kind of help, as the end of the season rolls around. And the take a penny was empty. So the kid at the register was, freshly a manager, and he didn't want to help me out. So I had to go back to my car and get 3 pennies out of the dash. So that's my Biega story right there. I don't. It was just a chore. I didn't see any value in it, and it was an extra trip.
So here's the next one's pretty tough. All right, because the scores for Philip Zadina, that's who we're doing, aren't great, right? But we see a lot of potential there. Yeah. And I think if anything, when we play the eyeball test, it works, right? So I guess like me saying that, you got to jump into, something that just looks yummy, but maybe just now.
Did we pick, let's say the same item on the count of 3. All right.
Oh,
3.
No.
All right. 1. Wait, should we go 3, 2, 1? 3, 2, 1. All right.
I don't know if we're picking the same thing.
Let's see. We'll just see what it is. All right. 3, 2.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 3,
2, 1. Pepperoni cheeser. Hey! Yeah, because, ideally you're like, wow, it's got like real mozzarella and basil on it, and the crust has Asiago, but
it could go sour. And like, again, here's the thing. We love our analytics. Right now they don't test great for Zadina, but there's nothing that we're looking at and worried about it at all, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that, when you see him, you're like, wow, I bet this isn't going to be the usual run-of-the-mill Little Caesars item. This is going to be like, no, you guys, Zadina, he's going to be like real mozzarella with real, it's like going to a real pizza place. All right, they sprinkle basil on it, and then they bake Asiago into the crust. And you're like, yeah, but when I take a bite, this doesn't taste like a real pizza. It still tastes like Little Caesars. Oh, no, just have a second slice. You're going to love it. And you're kind of, well, I thought it would be more like a top-notch pizza, and at this point, we're still waiting for it to be that top-notch pizza. I think the idea is there, right? Real mozzarella balls. It looks great, but we're just waiting for a little more. I think that's a great.
It's got to develop. Yeah, it's got to develop a little bit more. Maybe they needed to add one more thing to it. Maybe we need a ranch dip sauce.
Maybe stop making it after you handle the money. How about that?
Next on the list, this is gonna get tough. Now that we're doing this, I'm really like, oh my god, this is gonna be so hard to finish this. Mike, Dennis Chalowski. This is another one. Gosh, like Lindstrom-esque kind of thing. But you get a lot of offense out of Chalowski. The analytics don't test out great. We got an incomplete score from Jay Fresh. There's not enough games here to give him an actual score.
Right.
But it's not anything where even when you grade him out and you look at his potential, you're looking at a guy that should be good on the power play, but isn't necessarily going to be that fully developed two-way defenseman.
Right. I gotta admit.
Yeah, go for it.
Chalowski, we begged and pleaded for you to get called up all season, and they kept saying, well, he's not quite ready yet. And it's because he basically, the minor league coaches watched. He basically brings help on the power play offensively as a defenseman. He's still got to work on, the other facets of his game. So, Matt, I'm going to say that there's one item for Dennis Chalowski. It's the 20-ounce Pepsi. The reason I say that is, if you're having a pizza party, there's a lot of different people you got to feed. A lot of people are going to be thirsty. You just can't really have water with pizza. It doesn't hit the same. So you got a 20-ounce Pepsi for yourself, right? So you basically handled one person's Pepsi or pizza thirst, and there's so many other people, so many other things you could have accounted for. So I think that based on his only, having one bright spot of all the aspects of a defenseman, give me the 20-ounce because it's selfish. It's only one part of the game, and all these other people are thirsty and sad.
I like it. So this is where it's gonna get really tough because we have Luke Glendening, Mike. Coming into the season, he was one of your favorites. I mean, we still love talking about his face-offs, but clearly, if we're gonna get into the advanced analytics, I mean, this is a bottom 10% of the league guy. Even for grading him out based on his position, based on where he fits. So it's got to be something where it's like fun, but it ultimately it's not going to do too much for you. And I think I have a good one because I really like dipping things into this, but it's not the best for you. And when you think about what you're actually saying when you tell someone this is what I'm dipping into, you're like, what? What do you mean? Just cream cheese. But let's go garlic cream cheese dip. It's Luke Glendening because it's fun to talk about. It's fun to eat, but ultimately, when you have to tell somebody else that that's what you're eating, you're just embarrassed. You're dipping bread into cream cheese, and in some worlds it's totally normal, but when you say it out loud, you're just like, "What are we doing?"
I'm gonna say Glendening. He was that leader in face-offs. He got labeled as like one of the best defensive forwards the Red Wings have, and man, he's an assistant captain, and what a locker room leader. And for me, he's a 3-meat treat because he's got those 3 things going for him, and you're like, wow, what a value. I hope Eiserman re-signs him. But then you start doing the deep cut analytics, and you're like, holy shit, 3,000 calories. Whoa, what are we doing? Wait, this pizza's $10.49, and all the meats kind of taste the same. So I'm going 3-meat treat because as soon as you kind of like take a deeper look, you're a little frightened. But going in, you're like, man, 3 meats for that price. So let me do it. So I think once you with a magnifying glass, that's when you start to get a little frightened of your investment pizza wise.
I'm all for it, and I love the explanation, but I'm so angry because I was prepared. Our next name is Michael Rasmussen, and I was going to use the 3-meat treat because he's all about bruising now. His analytics don't test out great either, but he's certainly using his body, and you could see at the end of the season he was really coming into it and saying, "Oh, this is how I'm just going to overpower everyone." So we're going to take a step past the 3-meat treat. We're going to go to the 5-meat feast. That's our big boy, Michael Rasmussen. Really, I mean, the eyeball test is what's getting the pass here. He really took some steps forward. He's our big boy. He needs more protein. Let's keep beefing him up. So more beef means a 5-meat feast for Michael Rasmussen. How do you like that?
I like it a lot. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take Glendening. You thought you were happy with that. We're adding 2 more meats. We're gonna make him even bigger. We're gonna make a big bruising boy and fill him with meat. He's gonna be a meat selecting eater. Yeah.
Meat for different reasons. All right.
Yeah.
Mike, next on the list. Our boy got his first goal, Joe Veleno.
Ooh.
This is a tough one because it was exciting to see. Obviously we didn't see enough there to, really give too, like, we can't be too harsh here because there's just not enough there. So I'm gonna go with this. This isn't a. I'm not trying to make this sound mean because.
Oh boy. Man, this sounds mean.
Look, when I see pizza, I'm excited. And when I see Joe Veleno in the lineup, I get excited. So this
Tell me you're going slices and sticks.
What was that?
Are you going slices and sticks?
No, I've got that one saved for someone in particular.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be the classic Italian sausage pizza, okay? Because you're just not going to be disappointed when you see pizza sitting on your table. When you crack it open, though, and you see, what the last 5 games look like for Joe Veleno, You're not going to complain about Italian sausage. It's delicious. It just didn't turn out, like if we saw a goal a game, we'd be like, holy shit, Joe Valeno's amazing. And that's nothing against Joe Valeno. We're still really stoked. He had a really great last 5 games there. It looked fantastic. Same thing with the classic Italian sausage. Just obviously there's room for improvement. So I'm happy to see the pizza on my dining room table. Happy with Italian sausage. Could definitely use some veggies or something like that. So that's where I'm sitting right now.
I like that argument a lot. When I see an Italian sausage pizza, I like Italian sausage on a myriad of things. If you've ever had it in an omelet, whew, you are living life, my friend. That is delicious. But I'm gonna go classic pepperoni on this one because we're still kind of waiting to see something a little out of the ordinary out of a first round pick. And I feel like a classic pepperoni experience is kind of what we got from Valeno. We want to see what Little Caesars is known for. Some wild hot dog deep dish mega fuck pizza. And instead you kind of got classic pepperoni. You didn't get a guy who, you were really bummed about, or you thought you were going to get a little more. And it's still early in his career. So I think it's totally fine for him to right now be a classic pepperoni. But at some point we want him to be that deep dish hot dog mega pretzel fuck pizza. So I'm okay. It's okay for now, but we want a little more out of our Joe.
All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up part 1 of us going through grading our Detroit Red Wings roster by Little Caesars pizza items. I hope you guys are all enjoying this so far. We've got part 2 coming out this upcoming Monday on the release day of our next podcast episode. So for you to follow along with everything that's going on here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button here on the YouTube channel. Follow along with the Brothers of Discussion. As always, we've got Red Wing Rant episodes coming out twice a week. We're also available on every podcast platform that is available out there. So if you could do us the favor, head on over to Apple Podcasts, give us that subscription, do the subscribe, rate, and review little ditty there for us. Does us a world of wonder. And like I said, the subscription on the YouTube channel does us a world of good too. You can head on over to bodpodcast.com and brothersofdiscussion.com to check out our shop page. From there, we do have some shirts we'd like you guys to check out. Of course, as Red Wings fans, we have our Retire 73 shirt, which is a celebration of Adam Ernie's coming out party this year, and another Iser Plan fleece. Of course, as the summer months come closer and closer, we are now touching them. Of course, with the weather as well here, but still. Get those Iser Plan fleeces because surely there'll be another one once the fall and winter months come back. So with that, thank you for everybody tuning in. Follow along again with us. We'll be putting out new content every Monday and Thursday. And of course, we have some of our blog content as well, thanks to our blogger, Jesse, who's coming along for the ride. If you are interested in coming along for the ride with Red Wings Rant as well, you can always email us at admin@bodpodcast.com or just send us a comment or a message through the website. Again, bodpodcast.com, brothersofdiscussion.com. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody, and have a good one.